Oscar, you are a testament to what leadership can do for a company. United has staged a remarkable turnaround with you as the CEO. You used the term unsolvable puzzle to describe the way people used to think about your company. And you've solved it in part by going micro almost, right? Focusing on hubs like Chicago, for example, and Houston, moving on to Denver. What I'd like to know is what's the next step in your turnaround?
Well, we built, thank you for all that, and it's been a great team effort by 90,000 professionals around the world for sure, and we've built a good team at the leadership level that's allowed us to solve that puzzle. But the next arena for us is really double down exposure on our customer experience. We want you to feel good about flying United Airlines, and to that end, we've got many initiatives that are built up, but it's all about you, the customer.
Where does technology fit into that?
Oh, it's a critical part of it. I think my two competitive advantages are not only my people, but the digital advantage that we're providing. We are building some of the best technology that really no other airline is doing it. And our purpose is, innovation for me is something that has to be relevant to you, the customer, today. Everyone talks about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I prefer to have something that's innovative and less stressful for you to use today. And so we're building a lot of tools.
Well, a lot of it is stuff that people don't see, right? Like Gemini, your revenue management system.
Sure.
That you had record load factors last quarter, and you're kicking fewer people off of flights because you're overbooked. Obviously, that improves the customer experience. Is there anything else in the pipeline? Is there anything else in development technologically that could have as dramatic an impact on your performance as Gemini has had thus far?
There is, and Gemini is a lot of intelligence about how we fill our seats, but some of the technology we're doing, again, relevant to you, the customer, is it's just simple things that we give our flight attendants. How do we take care of you in the moment? If something isn't to your liking, we can take care of that immediately. We've got a boarding process that's been rolled out, that's doing really well. We are untethering our technology, our maintenance folks from their normal desk to do the work that they do on aircraft. And a combination of all of those things is really making our life more efficient and productive on the employee side, which of course services you as a customer.
You've made a lot of progress in the past few quarters, and along the way you've raised your guidance for 2018 3 times, I think. And the stock is up, what, 33%?
Yeah,
and looking strong through the sell-off. Analysts keep pestering you to give them 2019 guidance. You see, I'm not going to give it to you till January. I wonder whether instead we should be talking about raising that 2020 target you've put out there for $11 to $13 a share in earnings.
Well, Eric, you keep thinking that, and we'll continue to do that. No, it's a marketplace that's very volatile, it's very competitive, and we want to make sure that when we guide and give you a sense of direction, we have a very comfort level in where we are. But to this day, again, nothing has changed in our outlook for the fourth quarter, and we still see business, in a very strong way.
Do you think there's a possibility that things are improving at a fast enough rate that $11 to $13 in 2020 looks conservative?
I think our guidance for 2020 is right exactly where we want it to be at this point in time, and we'll keep you updated over the course of time.
Given where we are, Oscar, it's not that far from China. Do you worry about the impact that these China-U.S. trade tensions are having on your industry, broadly speaking, and specifically on United as a company?
Yeah, so 2 answers to that. From a specific to United Airlines, we're not seeing anything. In fact, we're seeing strength. And we're seeing it in this quarter, and we're seeing it into the fourth quarter.
And you just announced the new route to Shanghai.
Right. And so that continues, and we've been flying. We're the longest, we're the most, the U.S. airline that flies to China the most, and we've been flying the longest. So it's a good, strong market. Macro-wise, do we worry about things like that? Of course we do. Rumors of Cold Wars and all those things, which I don't think are prevalent. I think it's important. Part of this forum that we're at today is very important. One of the reasons I'm here is to understand the viewpoints of many of the folks here in Asia-Pac to see how they feel about the potential future with China. And for us, it's been great. It's
pretty undeniable, Oscar, that the Trump presidency has been good for the U.S. economy. Consumer confidence is what, at an 18-year high?
Yes, it is.
What's the risk in your mind that the growth the country has seen and the policy momentum under the Trump administration gets derailed with the midterms tomorrow?
Well, that's a loaded question, of course, and we will see, and I'll have a better sense of it after tomorrow and the elections.
Well, if predictions play out and Democratic Party takes the House, what happens?
Well, if I were king for the day, I would ask the Democratic Party, and again, not being political here, to engage in meaningful conversation about how to move forward together, rather than taking the divisive level that we've been through for these last couple of years. And so we all got to be adult here and rise to the occasion and move forward together. I know it sounds naive, but you just asked me what I would do, and that's what I would ask folks to do. There's just more fighting, and infighting is not going to help us. And then we do run the risk of exactly what you just said.
Things have backed off recently, but over the course of the year, we've seen fuel costs rise, and your company's been able to recover some 90% through pricing power. How sustainable is that? Again, given what we just talked about and the possibility that the economic environment won't be as accommodating as it is right now.
Well, listen, first of all, the rise in fuel has been offset by many things, pricing being one, a lot of our efficiency, the way we've been growing in certain markets. So it's a combination of all of those things that have allowed us to do that. So it's important. How sustainable it is. And one of the things in my industry that we have to move away from is the historical volatility of things like fuel shocks that have on our business. We have to overcome that. We have to prove to the markets. Having said that, sustained higher any kind of input costs always have an effect on your business, and we're wary of that. So all things being equal, we'd like to have lower fuel.
Do you think you can keep it at that 90% recovery level?
Again, we'll continue to do what we've been doing, but again, it depends on the price.
Oscar, one of the figures quoted on your last conference call astounded me, that your company is spending some $350 million a year on travel agency commissions. What if you stopped cold turkey?
Our distribution systems are their allies, they're partners of ours, and we'll continue to work with them. They're a meaningful, important part of our business model.
It's an arms race, though, isn't it?
It can be, but relationship
with your competitors,
well,
with American, with Delta. If
you let it, I think part of the aspect is, again, we don't talk about things with price sort of in open forums, but I think it doesn't have to be an arms race. I think there's a product that you build and a relationship you have with your customers that can assist in some of those.
Is there a limit to how much you're willing to spend?
There's always a limit to what things will do.
What is it?
But again, at the same point, with our partners, we'll have those conversations as we move forward.
This situation reminds me a little bit of what's going in the drug industry and the debate over the PBMs. Should there be some transparency? Should the customer know how much of the ticket price is being rebated back to the travel agent?
And you have taxes on top of that. So your ticket price that you pay.
Well, I see what the taxes are.
And all hospitality is of this.
And I see what the airport fees are.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
No, but again, at the same point, I think transparency is an important part of it. I'm not sure that would make a difference for customers necessarily. No. I don't think so, no.
What would?
I think the product that you offer and how they feel about flying your airline. And that's one of the things that we control, right? There's so many external factors that we always obviously worry about, but the things we control are how we treat you and how we fly.
One last question for you. If there's one thing you could have that American has and one thing you could have that Delta has, what would those things be?
I think they both have hubs in markets they in essence dominate. They have markets where hubs where they make a lot of their profit margin.
Dallas and Atlanta?
Dallas and Atlanta, and we have ours dispersed. Now we love our hubs, we love all the places we have, but if we could build or have one of those to support all the other ones, that would be nice.
Is that part of the future? We'll see. Oscar, I want to thank you very much.